But the difference is, this is a special election. These are elections that Republicans every single year suck at. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back with a new video, and last night we had special elections in several states across the country, and not a lot of people were talking about it beforehand, because, let's be honest here, in recent years, Democrats have been doing way better in these special elections, and the biggest reason as well, that's the new Democrat Party, and quite frankly, the new Republican Party. Democrats now, their voters voted every single election. It doesn't matter if it's a random special. It doesn't matter if it's a midterm. It doesn't matter if it's an off year. It doesn't really matter. These people vote in every single election. Compare that with the Republican Party and you realize, oh, wait a minute, Republicans have a big problem here. Republican voters, they don't vote, especially if Trump is not on the ballot, and that's been the concern since 2016. How do you get these people out to vote for Republicans? If Trump's not on the ballot, how the hell can Republicans win? And that's been the big reason why Democrats in recent years have been doing so good in these specials, because the only people that vote are Democrats. And that's why a lot of people thought the Democrats, they were going to wipe the floor last night. But that's not what happened. In fact, Republicans shocked everybody, and they experienced a surge. Now, before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. These are all great ways to support the daily content, but enough of the promotional stuff. We gotta talk about the Republican surge that happened last night. Now, I should be clear that not every single race went to the Republican Party. I'm not saying that. But the two major races that you could argue could maybe indicate how the national environment is looking, they looked really good for Republicans. Now, the first one was in Connecticut 21st. This was a state Senate seat, and in 2024, Trump won it by 0.5. It was very close. It was effectively a 50-50 seat back in 2024, right? It was very close. And turnout was not that good. I should be clear that when I say turnout in these areas were better, that doesn't mean they had 100% turnout. It just means that compared to some of these other specials we've seen in recent years that people use as proof of a blue wave, this turnout was much higher. The people actually voted. It's not like, yeah, 5 people voted and it swung 20 points Democrat. No, this was, compared to other specials, relatively speaking, a high turnout special. And Republicans did damn good because the Republican won by 7. Not by 1, not by 2, no, by 7 points. Now, of course, with special elections, they're not everything, all right? Special elections, they can be very misleading, especially in a state like Connecticut, because Republicans down ballot, they tend to outperform Trump in the state. So, yeah, listen, it's not that big of a surprise to see the Republican outperform Trump, but the difference is, this is a special election. These are elections that Republicans every single year suck at. That they cannot get their people out to vote no matter what. They keep losing by embarrassing margins. They do way worse in like R+80 seats and all of that. And that's why the Republican winning the district by 7 is a pretty big deal because A, turnout was not that bad, especially compared for the average special. The average special, no one votes. Yeah, this one had low turnout, but it's much better than some of these races that had like maybe 1,000 people that voted. But on top of that, the Republican won by 7. He won by 7 points in what should be a much more Democrat environment. And that's the big factor in all of this. It's not just, it's a special, right? Which, that alone helps Democrats big time. If Trump was suffering this magical collapse in support, shouldn't we see this in specials? Shouldn't we see a bunch of Democrats outperforming in these 50-50 seats, like Connecticut 21st? Because this is a 50-50 seat. This is a battleground district. So on paper, shouldn't the Republicans be in trouble here? It's not like it's an R+20 seat. No, it's R plus 0.5. It's 50-50, and the Republican won by 7. That's a double whammy. These special elections are not everything, I get that. But this is a 50-50 seat. So theoretically, it should be a much better indicator for the national environment. It should be. It's not like it's D plus 50 and oh my goodness, the Democrats did 30 points better there. Who cares? It's like, yeah, no Republican voted in that race because guess what? The Democrats are going to win no matter what. That's why a bunch of Republicans, especially these safe districts, they don't vote. If they see it's like a very Democrat area, yeah, only Democrats are going to vote. But this is not one of those areas that are D plus 50. This is a 50-50 seat that should swing back to Democrats, right? If there was a serious problem for Trump, we should have seen it here. But we didn't. In fact, we saw a swing towards the Republicans, which again, it's a down ballot race. It's not everything, but this is not good for Dems because these are the type of races that they have been outperforming for years now. Not just for one cycle, no, since like 2021, every single special they've done 10, 15, 20, 30 points better in every single one of them. But the difference with this one is this had, relatively speaking, okay turnout for a special. That's the biggest difference. And in my opinion, this kind of vindicates the idea that, yeah, the higher the turnout, the better it is for Republicans, because guess what? The people that are already voting, no matter what, they're Democrats. The 6,000 voters that voted for the Democrat, they're going to vote no matter what. They're going to vote Democrat no matter what happens. What Republicans got to do is get their low propensity voters out to vote. And in Connecticut 21st, they did. They got their vote out, and they won by 7. That's a significant deal. But okay, it's only one special. Surely there's no other ones that happened last night. Oh, there is. And in fact, the bigger surprise came out of California. This is California 36. And it is kind of a Republican district, not R plus 50 or whatever. But, you know, I think Trump won it by a couple points, maybe by like 10 or whatever. But, okay, this is a special election in Orange County. All right, this is a county that not the biggest fan of Trump. And again, if Trump was suffering this magical collapse, we should be seeing it in Orange County, California. We are not. Look at this. The number one Republican as of now, yes, as of now, because guess what? We're not getting full results for a couple days, but from what I'm hearing, the results are not going to change that much. You might see him dip below 50, maybe, but either way, right now, the two Republicans combined for over 58% of the vote. Democrats, 42%. Yeah. 48% of the vote, and look at the turnout. Again, for prior elections in this district, yeah, it's not as high as 2022 or whatever, but this is still, for a special election, fairly good turnout. In fact, we actually got the numbers right here. Yeah, roughly it's 20% turnout, and I believe there's a couple thousand votes still outstanding. Like, that's California for you. So more than likely, this does crack 20% turnout, which again, it's not that good. But compared to specials in recent years, this is a high turnout for a special. Some of these specials, no one votes. It's like 5%, it's like 2%. No one votes in these elections whatsoever. In fact, look at the registration advantage. In this district, it's R plus 3. Well, the return rate is R plus 13. So that means, yeah, more Republicans, they turned in their ballots. They voted. But even then, this is an indicator that, hey, wait a minute, a decent chunk of independents, they voted Republican. In fact, the majority of independents voted for the GOP here. Why? They're getting roughly 58% of the vote, while Republicans district-wide, they're making up 47% of the vote. So that means the majority of independents and others, they voted for the Republican Party. If these voters were really sick of Trump, why the hell would they vote for his party? Especially in California. I mean, if voters were having to regret voting for the guy, shouldn't you see this in California? Especially in Orange County? We should be seeing this huge collapse in support, but we're not. In fact, some of these races, the ones that have higher turnout than others, Republicans outperform by a shit ton. And if you're the Democrat Party, you gotta be sweating. Because these are the races that Democrats do very good in. No matter what, they tend to do very good in these specials because guess what? No one votes in them. Only Democrats do. But right now, it's a combination of, hey, Republicans are getting their voters out to vote in races that are kind of competitive, and Democrats, they're not winning independents. It's clear as day, they're not winning these independent voters, which theoretically, these voters should be sick of the orange man. Oh my goodness, they should have voted for the Democrats easily, but they're not. That's the problem. These people, they're not voting Democrat, they're voting Republican. This is after all the Doge stuff, after the Elon Musk stuff, after all of it. Yet right now, it is clear that Republicans, they are actually experiencing a surge in these specials. Now, does this mean a red wave is going to happen in 2026? No, I'm not predicting that. But if Republicans are doing even halfway good in these lower turnout elections, Democrats are in deep trouble. Because all Republicans got to do is get their people out to vote, and Democrats, they can't win anything. They have to bank on 0% turnout. That's the Democrat Party of 2025. They don't want turnout. Imagine saying that 10 years ago. 10 years ago, yeah, Democrats wanted turnout. Now they don't. Now they want 5% turnout, and that's it. Because if they get 6% turnout, they're screwed. That's what's happening. Now, will this trend continue? I don't know. But the fact is, Republicans are looking damn good. They're looking damn strong in these areas that theoretically, if Trump was really experiencing this magical collapse, we should be seeing it in California, in Connecticut. But we're not. And that should terrify Democrats, because if these people are voting in specials, what's going to happen in the midterms? Now, the first real big test, in my opinion, will be Wisconsin in a couple of weeks, because that's a big race that everyone knows is must-win for both sides. So, if Republicans vote en masse for that race and they win by 5 to 6 points, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there's a chance that happens. Well, Democrats, they better start hitting the panic button, because these are elections they should be winning easily, or at the bare minimum, showing big overperformances in. And I know they did overperform in some main race, I get that, but like 10 people voted. Like 10 people voted, and it was D+50. So it doesn't really matter. Congratulations. You have 10 points better in the D+50 seat. Meanwhile, you are getting embarrassed in these seats that are, you know, they lean to the right, but they're still kind of competitive. But we're going to see what happens in the next couple of years. The fact that Democrats are now struggling in specials, I was not expecting this. I thought Republicans, yeah, they were going to probably win California 36. I thought that was going to happen, but not by this much. Again, it could change. We got some votes outstanding, so the margin could slim down a little bit to like maybe +15 or 14, but still, that's an overperformance and a sign that, hey, Republicans are still doing pretty good with independents. Now, again, a lot can happen. We don't really know how the environment's going to look, but if this is what Democrats are banking on for 2026, they're screwed. I don't see how they win with these numbers. I don't. Again, I don't want to get cocky, but the Democrat Party, they need low turnout. They should be winning these races easily, but they're not. They're struggling in races that actually matter, not D+50 races. Congratulations, you win by 20 more points. Who cares? The races that matter, these 50-50 areas, you're crapping the bed. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.